Welcome to the table. Today we're not playing a game, we're not talking about games. We are talking about, well, that's not true. We're talking about some games. But we're talking about PAX Unplugged, which is happening this week. Ryan and I and Jeremy Howard and my wife Alicia, we're all going to the show. When do you get there?
I'm getting in Thursday.
I am too.
So
I think we're on different flights, but we're going to get there around the same time.
Different flights. I'm getting in around 4:30 on Thursday. I'm very excited to be getting in. I like to get in on Thursday. I know you do as well. Thursday's the setup day, so we'll have a lot of industry people working at PAX on Thursday, setting up their booths. But the actual show begins on Friday. Friday morning, you'll be able to get in and see all the cool stuff they have.
Yeah, Friday, Saturday, Sunday is the show. And we wanted to take this opportunity to run down sort of the 5 things that we're looking forward to. Now, these aren't necessarily 5 games because unlike most cons, PAX U is at the very end of the year, so there's usually not a lot of brand new releases. However, and you'll see this on some of our list, there are a lot of games that people have been waiting for and waiting for and waiting for that I think some of them might pop up, some quantities might be available, but don't hold your breath. They might not be, but to be fair, there's going to be a lot that are at least playable in demo form.
Well, let's just jump right into the list then, because I think our number 5 thing, I don't know if this is in no real particular order.
No particular order.
It's the first look game section. And normally this is a pretty cool place, like you said, because since PAX is at the end of the year, we have everything that was released at Origins, Gen Con, and Essen, all is kind of being broadcast or shown at the same time. This year, however, since everything got pushed back, some of the stuff that missed Gen Con, that missed Essen, is in the States now. So there will be some copies of games, maybe not to buy, but at least to go to this area to finally get to play.
Well, yeah, and a lot of games that were, like you were getting at, supposed to be out in retail right now, those will definitely be there in playable form. We're just looking down through the list on BGG, and they're listing the number of copies they anticipate to be there. But we saw some things that we've had a chance to play, fortunately, like Boon Lake, like Corrosion, a lot of the stuff from Capstone, but also probably some of the stuff from Board and Dice. I know Board and Dice are still hoping and crossing their fingers. They might know by now, actually. I haven't talked to them today. But they're hoping that some quantities will be available. I know a lot of their games, and they have 3 of them, Zapotec, Tabanusi, and Origins First Builders, are all coming around the same time. And I know that they had arrived on ships, but they were literally trying to coordinate and get them.
It's a shipping struggle this year. Yeah, so this might be a different PAX U because the sales might not be where they were last year as far as like the hot new games being for sale. Fingers are crossed, but definitely, since this is more of a playing con anyway, definitely try out these games. Like, you could spend the entire weekend just in that little first look area playing games and not run out of things to do.
For sure. And the way, if you have never experienced what that is, the way it works is you just walk in, and if there's a game available, you sit down, you teach yourself effectively.
Yeah, they have rules out on every table.
Unless there's someone there willing to teach you. But it's all kind of roped off. I mean, I'll tell you this. I have been guilty of being that person who kind of wanders around the first look, and I see people struggling. I'm like, I've played that. You want me to teach it? I love teaching games. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, I did a lot of that at BGG Con in the Hot Games room. I'll just kind of bounce from table to table, and you'll just sit there, and eventually people will come. If they see someone sitting at the table and there's open seats, they'll come and sit down and play a game with you.
People tend to appreciate that, although I'm sure a lot of you are thinking, well, that sounds obnoxious that you guys just hover around waiting to teach games.
Oh, but I play them too. I usually won't just teach. I'll usually sit and say, hey, I know this game. Like games like Boon Lake or the games that I really could play over and over again, I'll sit there and I'll teach it to whoever wants to.
So it's effectively your way of inviting yourself into
it is. It's like, you guys need a teacher for your game group? I'll come teach the game for you.
So the next thing we wanted to talk about is also about games, but not necessarily games that you're going to be able to maybe get your hands on, but you might be able to learn a little something about them. There's a lot of publishers this year that are either announcing or showing or giving a first glimpse or first look at some of their 2022 releases. And there's a few that we've heard about in particular that we're going to get a chance to not only look at, but maybe even play or get a demo of. Yeah. Pretty exciting. What's the first one?
So the one that I'm most excited about is Tidal Blades 2. This is the sequel game to Tidal Blades from Skybound. Yeah. You might remember this game. It was crazy gorgeous, great production value. And it took place in this world of Tidal Blades, which was created by Mr. Cuddington, who also did all that fantastic art. Yeah. Now, their plan was always to have more games that came out in the Tidal Blades universe. There's a Tidal Blades card game coming out sometime early next year, but there's also Tidal Blades 2, which is effectively like a dungeon crawl style game.
Yeah.
I haven't played it. I know it's been worked on over the course of this whole pandemic. And I believe PAX U is the first time anyone outside of Skybound is getting to see it.
Yeah, it's been interesting during the pandemic. I mean, with the original Title Blades, we actually had the opportunity to see that through many, many, many stages of its development. This one we haven't seen. So this is going to be
it's been pandemic. So
this is going to be our first chance. So we're looking forward to that. Yeah. I also know really quickly, Elf Creek, I think, is going to be having Honeybuzz expansion.
Oh, yeah, I think so as well. Honeybuzz is another great game with also beautiful components.
Yeah, and another one is the Welcome to the Moon, which is you were excited about.
Yeah, that's true. Welcome to the Moon is the next game in the Welcome to line. We had Welcome to New Las Vegas was
the
last one.
Welcome to Las Vegas, I think.
Yeah, and then Welcome to the Moon, which is building a.
I mean, it's a big jump from Las Vegas.
It's a big scale jump, but you're building a space base on the moon, or a moon base, effectively.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that too. I mean, I know roll and rides have been around for quite some time. Welcome to was one of the first ones that really made me kind of go, I don't know, it had an interesting theme. It was an earlier one, at least for my playing.
Well, yeah, I mean, it was the first, I think, like flip and write. Like it brought that twist on roll and rights that I thought was really unique. And also one of the only roll and rights I know, well, there's more now, but it was one of the first that could literally be played by a giant group of people.
Yeah.
Because everyone's taking the same actions, everyone's choosing the cards. Nothing is limited in that game. And I know they ran it at Gen Con with like 100 people playing in one room at Gen Con a few years ago, which is pretty cool.
That'd be fun to be a part of. I've not been a part of a big roll and write like that.
I wanted to be. I had scheduling conflicts that year at Gen Con. But
and the closest we've got is we played Trek 12 on our live stream recently and played it with whomever else out in the community wanted to.
We did Welcome to. We played, you can even go back and watch it now. You can play Welcome to with us. It was a couple of years ago we did it.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
So you could print out a sheet and just play along with us and see if you can beat our score. It's a fun game.
So, and speaking of announcements, the next thing on our list is very specific, and that is a panel that's going to be happening Saturday morning with Cephalofair Games.
Yeah, this is a panel we thought probably if you're going to PAX U, you probably are interested in this panel. This is Isaac Childress, the designer of Gloomhaven and Frosthaven, and his company. Games. Yeah, a couple small games you might have heard about. They're going to be doing a panel on Saturday called Frosthaven and Beyond. So it's kind of...
It's the Beyond part that I'm most interested in.
I was going to say. So it's kind of like a presentation with a Q&A. You can ask questions. I think it's even going to be broadcast, or they're going to be filming it. So you can ask questions. You can go on Reddit or their Facebook and Twitter, post questions for them to answer. So yeah, it's a whole Q&A, and I don't know if they're going to open up all the secrets. I don't know what to expect.
We will see what we don't really know, but we will see what they're going to announce. I think there's going to be at least one.
Oh, I guarantee there's going to be at least one game announcement.
At least one significant announcement, but it should be fun. Well, and I don't go to a lot of the panels. That's a whole other thing that I haven't really tapped into at PAX in the past, but this will probably be one of the first panels I'll go to.
You're going to go?
Oh,
find out what that and Beyond part is?
For sure. As soon as they get to the Beyond part, then I'm out.
Yeah, well, they're not going to lead with the and Beyond. I'm
probably
sure the and Beyond
It'll probably be last. I wonder if they'll let me in late.
Have you gotten to the and Beyond part yet?
Just let me know. Here's my cell phone.
And I'm sure, like, whatever it is, we'll probably tweet about it or post about it as soon as we find out. So if you're a fan of Gloomhaven, Frosthaven, that whole universe, definitely stay tuned on Saturday.
Yeah.
Because I don't think we'll be able to, I don't know if we'll be able to actually like live stream from the event, but we will definitely post our reactions.
No, and we will have some content. We're going to talk about that before the end of the video. But the next thing, I started this off by saying we weren't going to talk about games, but we've talked about
We have talked about
games.
A lot of games.
But right now, I promise you we're not going to talk about games because the next thing on the list is one of my favorite things about going to PAX. I've been to PAX Unplugged every time. Have you?
Well, I missed the very first one.
So I've been every time, and I was introduced to this place the very first time, and that's Reading Terminal.
No, yeah, right across from the convention center.
It's the market. It is sort of the North Market, if you will, from Origins, but for PAX U. And dare I say, maybe
it's bigger.
Better.
No, it's bigger.
It's definitely bigger.
You can get lost in that market. You stand there in the middle of that market and look in every direction. You just see food. You don't even see a wall. You just see straight food everywhere you look.
If you've ever been to a major metropolitan area in the United States, a lot of places have these types of downtown markets. This is one of the biggest I've seen, and one of the most robust in terms of different things. But one thing in particular that I'm going to call out is Herschel's East Side Deli.
Yeah?
This place, I'm not even a big pastrami fan.
Oh, I am a big pastrami fan.
So whether you're a pastrami sandwich fan or not, if you are, you absolutely have to go. Go there, do yourself a favor, get at least one pastrami sandwich. In fact, get one and split it with someone because they're massive. But they are absolutely delicious, and all the food over there is pretty good.
You're forgetting the key thing that they have at the market, which is Philly cheesesteaks.
Well, they do.
That is the best. I mean, that's why you go. PAX U's in Philly. You go. You do Philly cheesesteaks.
I'm telling you though,
fantastic. That's like the classic. When they say Philadelphia cheesesteak, that's what they mean, and it is delicious.
That is true. I have to embarrassingly admit, I've never had a Philly cheesesteak.
You're going to be in Philly in a couple
days.
Maybe
I will.
So.
Maybe I will do that this year. But the pastrami sandwich from Herschel's, chef's kiss for sure.
I know what I'm getting.
Herschel actually was from Katz's Deli up in New York.
Yeah, that's a famous deli.
Yeah, it was a super famous deli. So that is the fourth thing that we want to talk about.
Yeah.
What's the last thing we wanted to talk about, Ryan?
The last thing is talking about our MVM community. And this, I hope this doesn't seem too sappy.
I'm going to cue the music.
We've had a really great time over the past few years getting to know a lot of our MVM community. And especially, I would say, since the pandemic started, since we started doing more live streaming events, since our Discord started, we've really gotten to know a lot of you guys and girls and people out there that are part of our Discord. And we love seeing you at the shows. We love playing games with you, getting meals together, hanging out.
Yeah, for sure.
And we really want that to continue. And so we're going to, I don't want to say bribe people.
No, this is a straight up bribe.
Okay, we're
straight up bribe.
We're going to bribe you to come hang out with us.
If you see us on the show floor at all, do not hesitate to come up. And here's a little carrot dangling in front of you. We're going to take some of our legacy promos that we've had in our past Kickstarters and have them with us. I'm going to have some. Ryan's going to have some. Jeremy Howard is probably going to have some too, although we haven't talked to him about it yet. So Jeremy, if you're watching, you're going to carry some promos around. Come up to us, hang out, say hi. Just come up and like tap us on the shoulder and say, hey, do you have a promo? And we will fetch a promo.
Yeah, I'll grab a promo right for you. And also, if you're not already in our Discord, please consider joining it because we do have a PAX U room where we're going to be coordinating gameplays. For example, if we're in the game area and we're looking for players for a particular game, that's where I'm going to post first and say, hey, first come, first seated, come play a game with us over at the Hot Games area.
Yeah, and also speaking of the promos, absolutely, if you haven't, go check out our current Season 4 Kickstarter because there's a whole bunch of not-so-legacy promos.
Oh, yeah, there's some new promos.
Brand new promos for some amazing games, so be sure to check that out as well. And then the last thing I just wanted to mention.
Yeah, for those that are not going to be at PAX U, because a lot of this video has been for people that are going to be at PAX U.
Yeah, and trust us, if you're not going to be, you're not going to miss out because we are absolutely going to be covering PAX U a lot like we did for Gen Con this year. So it's going to be some light coverage. We're not going to spend all day every single hour of every day doing it. But we're going to hop around to a few different booths. Yeah. When we see some games that we're like, oh, this is pretty cool. Can we get this on camera? Publisher X, and they go, sure. Then we might. So, for instance, if we see Honey Buzz and they let us put it on camera, maybe even Tidal Blades, although I'm not sure that they'll let us do that.
Or whatever the Beyond from Frosthaven and Beyond is.
We are putting the Beyond on camera. Well, don't
guarantee that. We might not be. Whatever we can show, we will show. Yeah. And maybe we'll get a shot of David trying his first cheesesteak. We'll see.
Oh, that might be a good idea. But yeah, stay tuned for that. We'll probably post maybe just a couple, 2 or 3 videos each day if we can on Friday and Saturday. Probably less on Sunday. I'm going to be bugging out early in the morning on Sunday.
Yeah, I'm leaving Sunday evening, so I'll be there for most of Sunday.
Stay tuned for that. If you're not going to go, check out the channel and you'll see some content there. Yeah. But until next time, make sure everyone has fun at the table, whether you're at PAX or not.
Yeah.
And we'll see you then.